Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. Today's video is all about Bitcoin and the golden zone that we are in at the moment on the 3-daily RSI and why this part of the market cycle is my absolute favorite time to be involved in crypto Twitter, crypto YouTube, or just the market in general. So we're going to delve straight into the 3-daily RSI, and you will see here I've got the 3-daily RSI segmented into two different sections, the golden zone and the danger zone. When we are hovering in between the golden zone, it tends to be that we are in a raging bull market heading on into new all-time highs, and when we're in the danger zone, it tends to be that when we are making new lows and even presenting ourselves with bullish divergence, we are coming to the end of bear markets. So once we escape this level with the 3-daily RSI bullish divergence, as I discussed in the last video, tends to be that we are going to get the most powerful moves in the market. Hence why the last 6 months to 8 months has been bullish videos, bottoming formations, and why not to lose the forest for the trees. And now we have our first psychological major move to the upside, which is a very good sign in the market. We all love to see it as crypto participants, but moments like this where we get our first major powerful move to the upside, it's one of my most favorite moments in the market because it presents an opportunity where people think they're late into the market and they don't enter. So anybody who hasn't been entering down at these bottoming formations now see these big pumps to the upside and see, wow, okay, maybe I've missed a move. I'm just going to wait for a pullback. And those pullbacks become very complex, but we're going to try and simplify it, draw into the last 4 market cycles and what we can potentially be expecting this market cycle, and how we can analyze these waves on the 3-daily time frame to give ourselves a bit of a clue to maybe people who are sidelined at the minute what they can be expecting. So you see guys, often on waves and market cycles, we have 2 different structures that break on the 3-daily RSI. We have a macro trend that gets a retest and a mini macro trend that gets a retest. So our mini macro retest occurred in June 2026, just like the mini macro retest occurred in November 2022, and just like the mini macro retest occurred in March 2020. But the major macro retests, which I will create a little bit bigger, present themselves as the bigger opportunities. So if you're thinking, guys, that you've missed your opportunity in the market, you might just want to reconsider those thoughts, because it tends to be we always get a little bit of a second chance, especially even after a first psychological move to the upside. We tend to at least get one more retest of the big 3-daily RSI level. And it just so depends how much the price corrects as that 3-daily RSI does come back down. Right, now, you will see the distinctions here between these 2 trendline breaks of these cycles and the 2014 cycle, which looks very similar in terms of structure, what we've got right now. So you see the structures here, guys, almost parallel. Again, same structure. However, in 2025 to 2026, we almost get this crossover, just like in 2014. Now, the structure in 2014 presented itself very differently. I'm going to get the RSI off because we're done talking about the RSI. We know what we're going to be expecting in terms of range in price action in the RSI if and when this bull market gets ahead of steam. But what I want to point to here on 2016-2015 market cycle is the fact that Bitcoin went through a very similar move, what we're getting right now. So this type of move here was around a nice 45% move to the upside. And what we've actually got now on Bitcoin is nowhere near as much of a move, but I think when we look at previous market cycles, and the liquidity was a lot lower, easier to move the market cap was less, we're going to get less percentages. So we cannot compare a 42% move to a 35% move, which is pretty similar, I'm not going to lie. I was not expecting it to be so close. What I have done, guys, is present the opportunity here. Now, I'm majorly bullish. I do think the bottom's in. But I want to present the opportunity here for people who are sidelined and haven't got into the market. as to what they can potentially expect if they're looking for one more sweep of the low. So this type of market structure, very similar to that 2014 and 2015 market cycle, not only in the 3-daily RSI, but in terms of price action as well. So what I think may happen here is we're going to get above 83,000 regardless, in my opinion. And then it just depends what the market makers want to do. Because if people are looking for a correction back down to the downside, they could look for one more sweep of the low. The market makers could take a lot of liquidity after this pump to the upside with this type of move. And it would be one of the most bullish things that we could see. Now, I don't want to see this. I don't give this the highest chance of possibility of happening because of the videos that we've been making over the last 8 months of accumulation. But what I will say is there's a chance, simply because of the similar structure on the 3-daily RSI. So what I would say to the people that are sidelined in the market at the minute is watch how the 3-daily RSI does correct, because it will correct at some point, and just see how low it goes, and that will be your opportunity. Once we get that macro RSI, 3-daily RSI retest, that will be the point to see where the price is at. I think in 2023, the price corrected from around 31 to around 24. You got a couple of retests on that macro 3-daily RSI, and that was the opportunity to get in after the first psychological move. So I would not say to jump in after a move like this, even though I do just believe it's the first psychological move to the upside. I would wait for the 3-daily RSI to get back on track. I'll get it back up for you so you can see what I'm saying. Show you exactly what I mean. So I would wait for the 3-daily RSI to push on up, see how price moves. Probably going to range in between about 83 and 84, and see what happens when we get the correction back down here. Now, it might mean that price moves up more and price just corrects back down here, something like that, and we go for some type of vertical accumulation, and that would be your entry. But at least you're getting a little tiny bit of confirmation, maybe 5 or 6 or 7% higher than we are at the moment. But you're looking at an RSI correction and a reset in market sentiment. Right now, market sentiment is quite high. We're getting back into the greed levels. And if you're ever going to be buying a market, you want to be buying the market in a fearful market. So just see how the 3-daily RSI corrects. I could see the potential for this, where the market goes in for one more sweep and just absolutely rampages into 2027. I'm not negating that idea. However, the chances are low, simply because of what I believe to be a 6 to 8 month accumulation phase that we've been in. But the similarities between 2014 and 2015 with the 3-daily RSI structures draws my attention back to that cycle slightly, and gives it a 10 or 20% chance of happening. So the chances are still in the bulls' favour, and I think we're heading on into a new all-time high. I've put my targets in the Patreon of a 250,000 Bitcoin easily with wave structures on the Fibonacci channel. So if you're interested in that and you want to see my Bitcoin wave count in terms of the Fibonacci and Elliott wave and targets, head on over to the Patreon. But regardless of the fact, I think what we've done over the last 6 months in terms of spot accumulation for people that have been buying is you now put yourself in the situation where you're able, maybe you started buying here, maybe you started buying here, added here. You're now in a situation where if you did increase those buys at the lows, you're in a situation of green. You're in the green, and it's a good feeling after all of these months of drawdown. But the people that are not in the market right now, the psychology they face is they're waiting for pullbacks. So what I would say is look at the 3-daily RSI, look for the macro retest of the 3-daily RSI, and see where price is at in that moment. Because you could get your extra opportunity of a sweep of this low. But the people that bought down here now, if they can wait, simply wait. The market might continue up, and the people that bought down here are in the profit. Whereas, again, if people bought down here and they see the market move up, we can simply do nothing. Now, I did an article today on my Patreon explaining why I think buying at the lows gives you a certain element of relaxation that you can have. Because it does not mean that you have to be expecting the market to completely fly into a brand new bull market right now. What it does is it gives you the relaxation to know that if we was to get that wave structure and going for one more low, well, how much lower is that from your average buy price? About 6 or 7%. Whereas if you're entering now on these green candles, you're then down around 30%. So the numbers and the maths do matter. But the 3-daily RSI is now back in the golden zone. I think we're heading on into a brand new bull market, and we are in the first phase of getting our move to the upside, where we have our first psychological move. Just like to the downside, guys, where we get 1 range, 2 range, 3 range manipulation. We will get 1 range, 2 range, 3 into the new all-time high, going for some kind of crazy wave structure up here, range, and then manipulate above. And at this point, when people are waiting for confirmations, they'll say, yeah, I'll be bullish after this level, I'll be bullish after this level. Well, then after that level, the percent to the upside is only 70%. But if you're in from the lows, the percentage is actually above 300%. So the maths and the entries absolutely do matter. The psychology does matter. Just take note of that 3-daily RSI level. And if you're looking for a little bit more detailed wave structure in terms of price targets and how I think the Fibonacci channel will impact the price, go over to the Patreon. But that is all today, guys. The 3-daily RSI is in the golden zone, and we are happy to see it. So sit back, relax, let the market do the work. Take it easy. It's not financial advice. I'll see you next time.